Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton Show. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that has plagued every household in America and throughout the United States. The topic is bullying. In studio today, all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, we have the Lucases. We have Barbara and Demetrius Lucas. Welcome to the show.
Hi, yes, thank you for having me.
So let's get right down to it. Give the viewers a little bit about Barbara Lewis.
Yes, my name is Barbara Lucas, and I am from Cleveland, Ohio. And I was bullied in school, in-house, and inside of school.
When you say bullying in your house, give us a little bit more of that when you say bullying in your house, because a lot of people wouldn't even suspect bullying going on in your house. So take the viewers down that little journey real quick.
Yes, I was bullied by my older sibling growing up. I was called names like stupid, retarded, dummy, ugly. And I was also in special education classes, so it kept me in a dome a little bit growing up. So
when you say your siblings, that people will find that hard to believe. What, I know you was young, but what made them even consider bullying you? And did you even know what bullying really was at that age? And then more importantly, what was your outreach? Who did you talk to about this?
I never talked to anyone about it. I didn't have anyone to talk to. Sorry about that. But I didn't have anyone to talk to because of the structure that I had in my household. Mm-hmm. My parents were there physically, but not mentally. So I'm pretty sure everyone know what that means. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot of bullying going on, and I had to deal with it myself. So the way I dealt with bullying was disappearing in my own mind, which we will get to that when you're ready.
I like that. Demetrius, tell the viewers a little bit about you and your story, and then we get into how you guys actually met.
My name is Demetrius Lucas, and I'm the husband of Barbara Lucas, and we are here on our journey to help stop bullying inside of the households and continue to push that fight.
I like that. What was your household like? Was there bullying in your household? Because you guys are here for a common purpose. What was your household like? Without getting too in depth, but was there bullying in your? Did you experience bullying?
I mean, I experienced bullying throughout the neighborhood and in school. You know, just growing up, I was like the only child, and when I say only child too, I mean, like, it was just my mom's raising me. So I didn't have a father present, or I didn't have anything. So I talked about from not having a father around to, you know, being also dark skinned in school. You know, you hear all them Ethiopian jokes or.
Really?
Yeah. And so being dark skinned, like, you know, it just made you feel some type of way.
How did it make you feel? I mean, what are some of the other things you was dealing with? Like, you came from a single family home and stuff. Who was you able to share your bullying experience with? But did it also? You said it happened in school and happened in your neighborhood. When you say it happened in your neighborhood, how tragic was it in your neighborhood? Because these are kids you got to deal with every day.
Yeah, dealing with them every day is a big part of the issue with trying to help with your own mental development, because you don't know how to go about doing things in life, not having a father around. My mom, she's always at work, so I had to learn how to be responsible. So I was pretty much having to take care of myself. So you don't know who to go to, who to talk to, or even if it's that much of an issue, because your parent is dealing with all types of other things like the bills and all types of other stuff. So when my mom's dealing with that type of stress, and then I'm trying to talk to her about anything, she just, you know, sometimes, you know,
kind of like
tell you that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt you. But words destroy people.
Yeah,
it destroys you from the inside out. Eventually, you know, and that's one of the leading causes of death this day is suicide. And 9 times out of 10, it's because people emotionally hurt, their feelings.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes you get people around you you try to look up to, and then they talk about you.
Yeah.
You don't know how to become anything but what they telling you are. You know what I'm saying?
How did you basically navigate through the fact that this was in his neighborhood, this was in your home, and in both of you guys at school? You're young. How do you navigate, seriously, with the fact that your parents are doing their own thing? We ain't even here to talk about your parents, but technically that's we're in a young individual's mind, how do you cope and navigate and keep going on?
For me, I cope and navigated by finding the purpose at that moment. And I felt like my purpose was my other siblings. Mm-hmm. And they looked up to me. So at that moment, I knew, like, that's my purpose. Like, I need to guide them down the right path and make sure they're doing the right thing in order for me to see my true vision and where I'm supposed to be.
Now, when you said other siblings, take the viewers down what that actually means, because they need to understand you had bullying in the household. So you didn't go to the ones that was bullying you. You had a secondary family, I assume, that you consider that was your brother, sister, step brothers, half brothers, or whatever, correct?
Yes. So altogether, my mother has 7 children, mm-hmm. and it was about 6 of us that all lived in the household. So the oldest one didn't live there. Mm-hmm. The second oldest one is the one that was bullying me, mm-hmm. but the ones beneath me is the ones that I took care of.
Those are all your
younger siblings. Yep.
Younger siblings. So you had to. How old were you when you had to start developing? Now, this is really crazy. You're developing parenting skills when you're still dealing with, let's call it what it is, shit of your own. You know what I mean? And nobody to talk to. How are you gonna do that and be a role model, or whatever they want you to be to these new siblings, and you're still dealing with your own shit?
Right. It was at 8 years old when all of this started to happen, and I don't know. I knew I was different because your average child does not do the things that I have done. But it was.
What are some of the things you've done? When you say the average child, what's some of the things you've done?
I have helped taking care of my siblings. Cooking. Yes, cooking, cleaning, washing.
At 8 years old.
Yes.
You know how much bleach to put in the clothes?
No.
Okay. So
but I knew it was a little bit.
Yeah, but you're learning as you go.
Yes.
How did that make either one of you guys feel growing up into adulthood, knowing that you still have emotions? You're still 8 years old or 10 or 12. How do you navigate? What do you do? Who do you reach out to at this point?
It's like you just do.
Yeah, it's like you don't know to reach out.
No, you don't know how to do anything.
So it's really survival, the survival game for real.
Yep, you just dealing with whatever's in front of you, and you do what you can.
Let me rephrase this, because I don't want people to take the wrong thing. When they addressed you as special need individual, the bullying, the household, and the people in school, you didn't even have a developmental need, correct? They just put you in this, and now you got labeled with it, when clearly the ones that are labeling you had no idea that you was really an intelligent young lady.
Yes, they put me in there for anger management.
Oh, and did you have an anger management problem?
Yes, I would throw things around in my room. Like, I was angry because I was misunderstood. Okay. I was never paid attention to.
Did that happen to you? Were you angry?
Oh yeah, I had some anger things. I used to get pulled aside in school. I was in class. I did good in school, but it's just, if something happened, being bullied from a young kid, and as you start getting older, you start developing more strength and everything, and somebody
you want to attack first, or at least put on the facade.
Not so much as attack first, but if a problem comes to me, I didn't have no brothers or nothing. I ain't had nobody that I could run to. You know what I'm saying? Except for a dope mother. You know what I mean? Right. So I got to be the big brother. I got to be the strong. I got to be everything.
And you got to protect your mom too, correct?
Yeah, I got hurt a couple times as a kid. My mom's told me I got to get up. Ain't nobody gonna come for you. So I'd be dealing with a broken hand. I ain't even know my arm was broken. All I knew was, gotta go home, this and that. And I stayed, stuck around. My mom's came home saying how swollen my arm was. It's 11 o'clock at night. She took me to the emergency room. They said my arm was broken and everything. And they're like, how long
did they even confront your mom? You going to the emergency room, them doctors be on some stuff, man.
They do.
Oh yeah, they ask you if you safe at home, this and that. I feel safe. I was all right. But I ain't know my arm was, all I knew was to get back up, continue doing what I got to do. If you stay down too long, they'll kick you and keep you going.
That's crazy. How do you guys move forward with that? Let's go into another part of your life. Now you're getting older. You're able to comprehend. You're in high school. How do you start now? How does your mind change from the bullying aspect? How does it completely change to where you now have to realize you don't have a mom or dad well, let me rephrase it. You do, but they have their own issues. Mm-hmm. You're elevating. You're 18. Let's go to the ages of 18 to 19. Getting ready to get out of high school. How do you process? What's your thinking at this point? Start with you.
Well, when I was in special education classes, I had an opportunity to become the president of my class, which I was the president of my class. And that there, because I wanted it so bad, when I was able to accomplish that, I knew I could do anything I put my mind to.
Were you treated any different with that stigma attached to you in school? The special?
Not really in high school, because in high school, nobody really knew I was in special ed. But in middle school, yes.
Tell the viewers exactly what special ed means, because it doesn't mean you're mentally challenged. It simply means that you've performed better under certain circumstances. You
Yes.
can do math, you can do reading. Tell what it is.
So I was in a class with less people. Like it was
Right.
at least like 10 to 15 people in my classroom. Instead of a regular classroom, you might have 20 to 30. I don't know.
Right.
But we had a smaller group so the teacher can be able to talk to each kid individually if they needed help with anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a IEP in school.
Okay. While you guys were both in school, I forgot to ask this question. And you was having these interactions with bullying and so forth. Who was the teachers allowed to reach if your parents were questionable?
For me, they didn't have to reach because I always did a good job in school.
So because you guys were both good in school, there was no need to really call home?
No.
So my way of fighting against bullying, and I didn't really know it was like I said, I didn't understand it was a real issue, but my way of fighting against bullying was just trying to be a lot more tough. Mm-hmm. You know, if I get pushed down, I'm getting right back up. Like, come on, you got to do it again. I was real good in sports. But part of the reason I was good in sports, I think, was from being bullied. So, I don't know, I just found a way to just stick out, and just eventually everybody grew to like me a lot more. You know, my personality was always cool, and then I was the fast, they call me fast black. You know, it was still, but like I channeled the bullying.
Yeah.
I mean, well, life helped me channel bullying from you know what I'm saying? You just not
From
take
an
it
internal,
negative.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm the fast black guy. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask this real quick. We're gonna hold that. And I never asked this question, so it just kind of like popped in my mind. What are one of the things that you remember about bullying that still today you look back and go, damn, that somebody did to you?
I mean, it's almost everything, especially now that I'm older, to really recognize and understand that it was bullying. But you know, like people crack jokes on people and stuff like that. But it was stuff eventually I learned to deal with. I'm sorry, because I couldn't change it. Mm-hmm. Like they talk about how dark I am, or they talk about like me having a receding hairline. They used to call me 40 at, you know, I'm 10 years old with a receding hairline. They were like calling me an old man. So, you know, I had breast waves from the age of 8 years old until I was 30, until my hairline really started receding.
Right.
You know, like, you know, but I just had a naturally longer forehead. My hairline was right there, you know, so I had 360s from 8 years old all the way to 30.
So it just
consecutive.
You was just able to take that and say, okay, now that you look at it now and be like, okay, well, they were bullying me, but they wasn't bullying me with fists or anything. They was bullying me through names. What was some of the stuff that you remember?
I remember that same sibling that was bullying me was walking down the hallway. So in our middle school, learning disability kids and kids with IEPs were down the same hallway. Okay. And you had the regular ed hallway like this way. So it was like almost an L. Mm-hmm. So my sibling was coming down the hallway, and it was a guy with my sibling. Like, there go, yo, that's your sister? And no, that's not my sister. Like that hurt me. Wow. You know, for you not to even claim me in school, you know, on top of you doing the stuff at home. I didn't know that was a type of abuse that was going on, but it made me feel less than a person. So now that I'm growing up and becoming a person that I am, I'm just now starting to use my voice and know who I am and know that I'm not ugly, stupid, and retarded. I'm on my 4th book. I can't be that. Even though I left high school on a 6th grade reading level, but that's what they put on the books of me. Right. Nobody really, because I learned different than everybody.
Right.
You know, but unfortunately, schools, they got their own structured thing that they go by the books. So curriculums, yes.
The siblings in the house that were doing the bullying, you're older now. Is there a bond now? Is there forgiveness? Since forgiveness starts within yourself, maybe they had their own issues they were dealing with on both ends. Mainly for you, have you able to go on with that, forgive them, or is there still tension because they're your siblings?
I have forgiven. I have. But that particular sibling is still the same. So I just keep my distance. I keep my distance, and I truly believe that sibling's going to have to deal with what they got to deal with. But I just been navigating through my own journey with my family that I created. And
this is the family. How did you guys meet?
We actually went to the same high school.
Was he walking down the same hall you was?
No, that was middle school. But in high school, he was a 12th grader, and I just came in 9th grader. But I actually liked him, and he didn't even know. It was a glow about him. I didn't meet him till after high school.
Who made the first move?
You know.
Oh, you made the first move? What was it about her that you said, we got something in common?
It was her eyes. It was something I seen in her eyes.
Really?
Yeah. That was, like, kind of like almost a love at first sight type of a thing. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't call it just love at first sight, but you could kind of say it too, because, as you know, you do a double take, like, is it me or am I tripping? And, it just pulled me in from there.
So you guys wind up naturally cultivating a great relationship that led to marriage and beautiful kids. I met your kids, beautiful, well-mannered. When you got married and stuff, what did you guys, before you even got married, what did you realize that you had in common that brought you guys to the marriage table? And then we're going to get into how the book came about through that marriage.
We'll need more than 30 minutes.
We'll have another drink.
So, just going over just different things just in our past, how we ended up, you know what I'm saying? So first thing was like, we was just talking about, our parents, right? Mm-hmm. My mother and her mother birthdays is identical.
Right.
Both their birthdays is the same day.
Okay.
And it just tripped us both out, right? Not only that, going to the same high school was one thing. Then we stayed like right around each other.
Really? Growing up?
Yes.
Growing up as kids. Like a lot of people she knew was a lot of same people I knew. And
was it the same people in your neighborhood dealing with the same type of inner structure? Bullying, conflict in the household?
It was a cultural thing, man. So,
where did you guys live? East 99 is where you find us. Cleve. Is that it? St. Clair. Is that it? St. Clair.
Superior, St. Clair.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a rough neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially we was born in the 80s, so you know about the crack epidemic and all that type of stuff, and just there's a lot of different things that took place just throughout the African American culture in general. You know what I mean? So
when you met her and you guys realized that you had so much in common and lived in the same neighborhood, what made it stronger with you guys before you decided to get married? Like, what was the one thing that you guys shared that really you went home and pretty much almost said, damn, this is some fucked up shit?
Yeah, the main thing with the both of us is because we both was mature at a young age. Mm-hmm. So like we came together with the maturity and the responsibleness as adults. We was like young adults just growing up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we both was pretty much fighting for change.
I like that. What was the one thing that you wanted to change?
Breaking generational curses.
Say that again, because they didn't hear you.
Breaking generational curses.
Yeah, and what is that generational curse to you in your mind? And I'm going to ask you the same question.
Constantly seeing the same patterns. Fathers going to jail, fathers not being in the household, mothers having multiple baby fathers, having to deal with the stress of not having and having to settle, and I want to make a change. I don't want to live like that. And I wanted to build a legacy for my kids to have and my kids to see, and not just, and none of this was taught to me.
Right.
Like I bought my first house at 25 years old. Mm-hmm. my family didn't even know how to start the process of that. But in my mind, I said, I don't want this. I put my foot down, and I knew that I did not want to live the same life that they have been living for generations and generations at a time.
Yeah, we actually on house number 2 now. Yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to change is me seeing my mother work so hard as a black woman, and black women growing up, like, they have to really be so strong and they have to deal with so much that to me, I feel like it's overlooked. But I wanted to make that change for my wife. I watched my mom's get broke down. She broke down to me at a young age. She's only in her 50s. And you know, she was being strong, man, trying to make it happen for her and her son. And
when you say she broke down, go deeper.
She was working 2-3 jobs, trying to make sure them lights stayed on, make sure the bills was paid, make sure I had food and clothes on my back. And me being a kid watching my moms go through that, you know, that had like a different type of emotional attachment to it. So I always just keep my clothes real nice, real neat. I was best dressed in school. I ironed my clothes every day. You know, I used to try to, you know, keep my hair neat. So it's things that my mom wouldn't have to worry about. She'd give me tasks and duties. She'd come home 12 at night. And then next thing I wake myself up in the morning and go to school. And something I don't know, the system was a little bit different then. Like, you just had to pay utility bills, you had to go pay them. She'd give me a light bill and some money. I go to school. After school, I make it to like the gas station and everything, stand in line, pay the bill, get the receipt. If you ain't got that receipt, that good bill might be as good as not paid. You know what I mean? So I had to help out a lot, and I didn't want my wife to have to go through the same things my mother went through. So I do a lot. Just even now, just being a black male in America, it's hard for us as well. I try to make sure I make it home every day, not being involved in a lot of different things, riffraff or any of that type of stuff, so I can continue to support my family. That's what took my father out of our lives for 12 and a half years. That's a long time.
Are you close to your father now?
Oh, yeah. Me and my father, we pretty close, you know. My father wasn't the type of person to want to not be in his kid's life. It's just once he went to jail.
The system changes a lot of people, even though you have to, once they're there, you got to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hopefully you can have a son and a daughter that can say, okay, a mistake was made. Let's see how we can patch it up and move forward. Let's get right down to the cream of the crop. You took all that energy and you addressed it with this beautiful series. Tell me about this series and how it came about.
So I actually had a youth group, which were my little sisters that I raised, called the Beauties. And they grew up. They had an opportunity to participate in Jermaine Dupri rap game, but they didn't want to do it. And I'm like, oh my God, why not? So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get rid of the Beauties image. I want to turn it into something else. So I took it and I turned it into a book.
Tell me about the books. You got 3 books there. What are they about? Give us a little story on each one of them.
Okay, so the books are called The Beauties Bullying Adventure. My girls teleport around the world and fight against bullying mentally. Their names are Hope, Faith, and Love. And then the heart-shaped figure is named Serenity. And that is their mother. She died giving birth to them.
Wow.
Yeah, so when she died, before she died, she created those bracelets that they wear on their arms. And each of them has a different shape. And when they turned 9 years old, the mother told her mother to make sure she gives her daughter the bracelets. So she did. And when they turned 9 years old, they received their bracelets and they activated their mother.
Wow.
And their mother is the one that gives them the missions around the world.
How much of your life is in those books?
A lot of it.
Which one is your favorite character and why?
My favorite character is actually Faith.
Why?
Because Faith's superpower is empathy. So she could feel what you're going through. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are missing. That's what a lot of people are missing. They don't understand what other people are going through, so they misread it. And that's where bullying and stuff come in at. They like to bully people because they're going through something, so they like to inflict their pain onto somebody else. But if somebody could actually feel you and understand what you're going through, and y'all could communicate through feelings, then I think it'll be different.
You know, just in here talking to you, I can feel all of that energy right now, and know that there's a lot of power between both of you guys to even write this book. Tell me your role into this outside of being supportive to your wife. When she brought this idea to you, what went through your mind?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
He's like me. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the key to getting anything done, man. You gotta have the support, and everybody gotta be like, just kind of like all in to help see it to fruition. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
almost like, I don't know, anything you want to do in life, it take a team.
Right.
You know.
Now you got a beautiful family. You read these books to the girls?
Yes.
What was their reaction?
They love it, especially the hook. I mean, the chant that they say. So the chant that they say is actually a hook in my song that I created 10 years ago.
Okay.
Called Bullying.
Okay.
And the hook is, the chant is, bullying, can't do it. Violence, stop doing it. The beauties have to say it 3 times before they get to their location. So the kids love that part because they can participate in the read of the book.
I don't see. Is there a guy in there?
Yes, Ethan.
Because you got a son.
Yes.
I don't want him to be left out.
Oh, no.
So when he said it, did he say what's his role in the book?
So we have a brother in there named Ethan, and Ethan means strength. So eventually in the next series, I don't want to talk too much about it.
Yeah,
But
don't say
Ethan,
that for our next show.
Yes, Ethan definitely is gonna be a superhero as well.
What's the end game for you guys? I love this message, and the Andre the Beast Creating Show is about spreading that beast frame of mind, and you guys have definitely channeled it. You're what's next for you guys? What's next? What's the big picture here after the bullying?
My goal is to first get that book, the self-esteem / self-awareness workbook, in the schools, because I truly believe
I like that.
That's what's missing. The kids, like, they're teaching them everything else in school, but what they're not learning is how to help self-esteem, self-awareness. You got to learn self in order to get to anywhere in life.
Yeah. What
that's
was you going to
jobs
say?
and everything.
Oh yeah, no, that's real key to me, because sometimes a lot of kids is dealing with so many extra issues to where they can't focus in class.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's hard for them to even graduate. It's a lot of dropouts because they dealing with their own self issues. Yeah. You know, and
who do we blame in this situation? You got kids that are afraid to talk about the traumatization that goes on in their home. I know from experience what my daughter went through, and I was blind because she kept it in fear of not knowing. But we have a great relationship. I say, always tell me whatever it is. I didn't know that she was encountering bully, but I mean, but who do we have to blame for this? Do we blame the school system that have enough to deal with a classroom of 30 and 40 kids? And I mean, I think this is a damn good start, because I've never seen a classroom that actually would teach this type of fundamentals, and that's what it needs to be. It's fundamentals. But more importantly, when should it start? I ask you guys, when should it start?
Now.
It should start at home. It should start at birth. Let a kid know you love them and tell them they special.
Yes, it should start then.
Look,
but
you got her smiling.
it should start then, but if we can't teach them then because they didn't know,
Right.
we should start this now in the schools. And that's why I'm forcing and pushing to get them in the schools. And I'm actually starting with my city first, Cleveland. So I'm doing my due diligence to go to all the schools and tell them about what I'm doing.
How are they receiving it?
They're responding. It's positive response, but you know how it is. They normally don't act until somebody else outside acts. So sometimes it takes the outer cushion to act, and then the inside want to navigate towards it.
No. How can the viewers reach out to you for your books, to get in contact with you for speaking? Because you guys have a great story. I like the cohesiveness, like the way you guys are working together. I see a generation right here automatically, a new book. I see everything positive happening right here. How can the viewers reach out to you?
They can reach out to me by contacting me on Instagram at Barbie Motivate Me. Barbie Motivate Me is all one word together. And my email, which is barbara.lucas009@gmail.com. Barbara.lucas009@gmail.com.
Leave the viewers with something positive. You do the same, and then we're going to wrap this up. Make sure before we do wrap up, you guys support their cause. Get the book. There's more books to come. It starts in the home, plain and simple. It starts in the home. It's never too late. You got grandkids, you got cousins, nieces, siblings. You need to get the book and start reading it. Leave the viewers with something.
Oh yeah, and you guys can find the book on Amazon and Barnes and Noble online. You can go on Google and type in Barbara Lucas, and the Beauty's Bullying Adventure should pop up.
I like that.
And you guys, I need you guys to know that you can do anything you put your mind to. When you limit yourself, you limit your mind. Your thoughts become reality. But just know you have what it takes to prosper.
Take it.
All I would want to say is save yourself, and at the same time, you'll save somebody else. Somebody is looking up to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton Show.